What's up guys? In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about masks that fix your face. Technically, we're talking skincare, so technically these are skincare masks that fix your skin, but fix your face just has kind of a ring to it, you know what I mean? And when you have like a mountain growing out of your chin like I do right now, it truly feels like you're fixing your face when you apply these. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first, a quick background on my skin so you can understand where these recommendations are coming from. I have combo skin and it is acne prone. In fact, more acne prone the older I get than it ever was in my youth. Go figure. That said, you can expect more than just a bunch of acne masks in here. I'm talking about a bunch of different skincare challenges from acne to exfoliation and brightening and even hydration, which a year ago I would have been like, no thank you, but the older I get and the more I come to learn about my skin in general, I realize it's a delicate balance, and all of these masks are what I go to when I am just trying to reestablish that balance. So let's hop to it. And even though I just said that, I am gonna start with an acne product, the only one I have in here. Be super fast though. It's the Ordinary Salicylic Acid 2% mask. I actually bought this when Sephora, I'm pretty sure it was Sephora, was out of the serum and I was placing a big order, so rather than look elsewhere for it, I just went ahead and picked this up, and I actually really like it. It's really great for just spot masking. I'm pointing here because I have a, situation going on like all around my chin, and so that's kind of how I'll do whenever I'll multi-mask. This is what I will put on my breakouts. 10 minutes. I don't notice an immediate difference, but it's like that 12 hours if I do it right before bedtime on cleansed skin. It's ready to have those actives infused in there. This is what I'll do, and then the next morning I do notice a huge difference. Even in the major like deep undergrounders there, those won't be totally gone, but they will definitely be diminished. So I really like this, but also do use it in conjunction with the serum. Like I'll put the serum on under my makeup, and then this will just be like that once a week or as they arise, like as breakouts arise. This is what I will reach for the really powerful stuff. Ooh, speaking of powerful stuff, let's move on to exfoliation. So I have raved about the Drunk Elephant Baby Facial here. I have actually bought 2, maybe even 3 of the full-sized packages, but that was until The Ordinary came out with their AHA 30% BHA 2% peeling solution. Very long name, very small bottle, but does almost the exact same thing. It's this really deep crimson color, kind of looks like blood, but I think it's to be used as a guide color on the skin because it is so strong. I mean, the first time, 2 times I used this on my skin, there was a little bit of tingling action going on, which could be due to some sensitization. If you have very sensitive skin, I wouldn't recommend this because it is so potent, but that red color really helps me see where I've applied it, because after that 10 minutes is up, I try and be very, very careful and diligent about removing it everywhere. Just because it is so strong, I don't want it sitting on my skin for any really extended period of time. And this I will use when my skin is looking and feeling congested, when it's like kind of dull, it's a little bit textured, especially around my cheeks. I've noticed that maybe I'm just noticing them more, but my pores appear larger the older I get. And anytime I notice the texture around this area just feeling like a little bit bumpy or rough or uneven, that is when I know it's probably time to reach for this. And this is something that I will multi-mask with, specifically with that salicylic acid. On some nights, like nights when I feel like I'll need this, it'll kind of be a reminder to, the rest of my face probably needs a little bit of exfoliation, well, a lot of bit of exfoliation too. So I'll put like this in my cheek area and this wherever I have breakouts around my face. And I find that that does a really good job at balancing the texture of my skin. Oh, and then after this, I always go in with a moisturizer, often a lot heavier than I would otherwise. The base varies though. If it's chillier outside, my skin's very dehydrated, I might reach for something that's oil-based. If it's not so much, because I have a combo skin and I don't want to feel like something is sitting on top of my skin or just like feeling really heavy, if I know it's already hot and my skin is already likely going to become just an absolute oil slick, then I'll reach for something that's a little bit lighter, not slippery, well, it feels slippery, water-based, hyaluronic acid infused, something along those lines. But the bottom line is you always have to hydrate. And speaking of hydration, let's move on to my favorite hydrating masks. This one is actually the newest one to my collection, but after the first like 3 to 4 times I tried it, I knew I had to buy the full size. And and actually then bought a bunch of other products from this collection as well. It's the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask. My hairstylist is a rep for them, and he actually gave me a bunch of samples of a couple of the products. The pineapple exfoliant, the blueberry cleanser, blah, blah, blah. I think I bought everything from the collection, including the watermelon mask, because this, I mean, it smells amazing, but it feels like an absolute dream on the skin. It's a thick jelly texture, so at the same time that it feels like it's really sinking in and penetrating into the skin, when I wake up the next morning, there is definitely a residue that I wash off of my skin when I wash my face for the day, even though it doesn't feel like heavy or grimy or anything like that. Instead, I wake up and my skin is like baby soft and glowing, and it's not at all what I expected from a mask that is supposed to be so intensely hydrating. If you have combo skin or oily skin and yet this, dry winter weather is just sucking the moisture out of it, this is what I would recommend reaching for to replenish it overnight when you just don't want anything feeling super heavy on it, but you need to rebalance that moisture. This is amazing. Or if I want something a little lighter, I will go in with my Call It a Night mask from Foreo. I love this little tool. I love a lot of the masks that come with it. I'm going to mention a few more here, but this is the one that I really love for the night because, again, it's very hydrating. It leaves your skin feeling very soft, but it's ultra thin, so you can let it soak in, sink in. I mean, thinner, certainly thinner than the Glow Recipe mask. And yet, even though it feels like there's nothing on your skin, once this has like fully penetrated, I wake up the next day and I see such a big difference in skin tone evenness and brightness and just overall hydration. My skin feels more comfortable. I notice that the fine lines in my eye area that typically show up in part because of age, but also in part because of dehydration, those are significantly minimized when I use really either of these. It just depends on how much hydration I need. So that concludes the section of masks that I like to use at night. Let's talk quick about those morning masks. First, starting off with one that I think is so underrated, the brand in general, it's called This Works. I've been using a couple of things from them. They sent me a pretty sizable piece of their collection a couple months back, and this is what has stuck with me the most. I keep coming back to use this because it's addicting. It's called their Morning Expert Vitamin C Power Mask, and I love it in part because of how innovative it is. It works, but it's also a concept that I think is really innovative, and that is that it's an exfoliating balm. So on here it says an exfoliating balm with 10% vitamin C and jojoba to smooth and brighten dull, tired looking skin. So basically it's in this pump, you pump, I do 3 onto my fingers, and like it says, it's a balm, but it has these round spherical exfoliating beads. So it's like a 2-in-1 kind of mask. You're getting some physical, manual exfoliation, not too much though, because I gotta be honest, I don't love manual physical exfoliation. I prefer chemical, but the beads in here are round enough and there are few enough of them that it's really just a very gentle physical exfoliation across the face. Then once you've done that and you can leave the mask on for a couple of minutes, you take water and it totally dissolves those beads. And I think that is what's the vitamin C is what's encapsulated in those beads. So it's like a 2-in-1. The water actually activates a secondary treatment after that exfoliation. I just so love this, and as a morning mask, it has this really refreshing herbal citrusy kind of, I can't smell it in here obviously, but it's an herbal citrusy kind of smell that I just love. It's so energizing. So that is for brightening. And then the other two I have are for my Foreo UFO. The first of which is the Make My Day. It's for hydration, super light hydration though. It has hyaluronic acid and red algae, and it has a slight cooling component to it when you stick it in the UFO. The whole premise behind this tool, I just realized I haven't talked about what it does because I've talked about it in previous videos, but basically it is this little puck looking thing that not only vibrates to help product penetrate into your skin deeper, but it also heats and cools according to what you're using to, again, further help those products penetrate deeper. And the cooling I find is so refreshing, especially in the morning. I don't care what season it is. It's just always a nice way, I think, to wake me and my skin up during the day. So there's a little bit of that with the Make My Day. It's mostly gentle warming though. What is definitely cooling are the Shimmer Freak Eye Illuminating Masks. And before you think the same thing I did when you hear Shimmer Freak, there's no shimmer in here. I kind of wish they didn't call it that because I avoided buying this for so long thinking that there was going to be like glitter in here. There is not. I think it's just to illuminate the under eye area, but this really triggers the cooling in that UFO, which again, so refreshing, great for depuffing your eye area if you tend to wake up in the morning and are just a little puffy. This will take it right down and brighten at the same time. And the thing with all of these UFO masks is that you get at least 2 uses out of all of them. Honestly, even more from the eyes because you get so much serum, but you don't have that much surface area in your eye area that more often than not, I find I have enough in all of these packets to either do 2 cycles like in one sitting, or I will save like the packet for later, whatever's left, I'll just prop it up. I should probably come up with a way to seal it, but honestly, I just prop it up next to my sink and I'll go back in with the rest of the serum later that night, the next morning, whenever, and just use the rest of it. Like these, even though they say they're one-time use or one mask, you get enough product in there to actually go for multiple uses, which is awesome. And those are all my picks. Those are all the masks that I reach for when I need to fix my face, depending on what I need to fix. You know what I'm saying? I hope it was useful. I know we all have, you know, very different skin and different skincare needs, so I hope I was able to share at least one mask in here that might help you out. Let me know what your skincare issues are down below. I'm kind of curious to see, since I know, as I mentioned multiple times, I never expected to be this concerned with acne at the age I am. So let me know what your skincare concerns. I'm always curious. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.